Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, we are focusing on the solution of engineering mathematics questions asked in GATE 2007 paper of aerospace engineering. Um, we can see in this slide that there were 12 questions asked in this paper from math subject, out of which three were 1 mark questions and 9 questions were asked for 2 marks. Just for the information, in 2007 and 8, there used to be around 85 questions, and after 2008, like from 2009 onwards, there are 65 questions in GATE exam, and that's why you can see here a more number of questions from maths are asked in 2007 and 8 compared to the next papers. So yeah, so with that, let's continue with the actual questions. The first question here is for 1 mark. They're asking us, like, if f of theta is cos of theta sine theta minus sine theta and cos theta, then f of alpha into f of beta is equal to. So let's try to find out the answer here. We can write f of alpha into f of beta equal to cos of alpha sine of alpha minus sine of alpha cos of alpha into cos of beta sine of beta minus sine beta and cos beta. And if we do the cross multiplication, let's see what we get. Cos alpha cos beta plus, no, it's minus sine alpha sine beta. The next term will be cos alpha sine of beta plus sine alpha cos beta. The third term is minus sine alpha cos beta minus cos alpha sine beta. And the last term is minus sine alpha sine beta plus cos alpha cos beta. Yeah. So let's try to figure out what is this. We know the formulas for cos A plus B. What is formula for cos A plus B? Cos A plus B is equal to cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. So the first term belongs to cos of alpha plus beta. Second term we can write it as sine of alpha plus beta, because sin A plus B is equal to sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. So you can clearly see it is in the same format. And from this term, the third term, we can take minus common, and then again we'll end up with sine alpha cos beta plus cos alpha sin beta. So it can be written as sine of alpha plus beta, and the last term will be again cos of alpha plus beta. So it is cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. So we can clearly see, if we compare this equation number 1 with question, we will realize that we are actually getting the value of f of alpha plus beta. Okay, because we can clearly see the first term is cos, second term is sine, the third one is minus sine, and then the last one is cos. And that's why we can say here option B is correct. Okay, let's have a look into the second question. Yeah, it's about let me just So this question is about the Euler's iteration formula, and the given thing is x is equal to f of x. Then with a constant step size delta t, what is the Euler's iteration formula? Okay, we know in general, let's say y is equal to f of x. In that case, we have Euler's iteration formula: yn plus 1 is equal to y naught plus h f of x naught. So in the similar way, for this current question, we got x is equal to f of x. So xk plus 1 can be written as xk plus h means the step size here. So it is a delta t times f of xk. Okay, so here we can clearly see the option D is correct. Yeah, this was pretty simple. Coming towards next question, here they are asking us the minimum value of function g of x occurs at what value of x. So let's try to look into it. G of x is equal to x square minus 7x plus 30. So whenever we calculate the minimum or maximum value, we always take a derivative and equate it to 0. So let's calculate j dash of x, and it is 2x minus 7. Let's equate it to 0, and we will end up with x is equal to 7 by 2. Okay, so there is only one option, which is option A. So we can take it, and if you want to further check whether it's a minimum or maximum value, we can double differentiate it, and we'll end up with 2, and this is greater than 0. It means x is equal to 7 by 2 is minimum. Okay, so the first 3 questions were quite simple, and they are for 1 mark. So from this question onwards, these are 2 marks question, and will expect little increase in the difficulty level. So what this question says, let P and Q be 2 square matrices of same size, and the following statements are given, where I is the identity matrix, and which of the following statements are correct. So we have to basically figure it out, which are all the false statement and which are all the true statements out of these 4. So let's try to look into these 4 statements one by one. What is the first statement is saying? PQ is equal to 0 implies P is equal to 0 or Q is equal to 0 or both. Is it true? No, because we can come across situations where we can say the value of P and Q might not be 0, but still the multiplication of 2 matrices P and Q gives us the 0 value. So for example, A, B, and maybe I'll take again AB. Okay, let's say this is a general matrix, and if I give another matrix, B minus A and B minus A. Okay, so if you multiply these 2 matrices, what we'll get? Let's say A and B are any random numbers. Okay, so A multiplied by B is AB minus B multiplied by A again minus AB. Similarly, the rest of the terms, AB minus AB, AB minus AB, and again AB minus AB. So we can clearly see, like, we are ending up with the 0 matrix. Okay, because AB will get cancelled. So ultimately, we can clearly see if you take any values of A and B, but if it is in this format, and there can be some other cases as well, but it is not necessary that the matrix has either of this matrix or both of this matrix has to be 0 if their multiplication is 0. So we can clearly say that the first statement is false. Okay. Yeah, so considering that thing, we can clearly remove the option C from the list. Okay, it is incorrect. Coming towards the second question, PQ is equal to I square implies P is equal to Q inverse. So let's look into it whether it's correct or not. I square means the square of the identity matrix, and the square of the identity matrix is again identity matrix. So if PQ is equal to I, it means P is equal to Q inverse. That is true because if we multiply a matrix with respect to its with the inverse of it, we'll get a identity matrix. So it's correct, and we will end up with P is equal to Q inverse. So the option 2 is correct, and considering that, we can clearly say that option D is correct here, because that is the only option where we got the statement 2 as true. Okay, and the first statement anyway we have made it false. So with this just 2 checks, we can directly tell the answer. But just for another information about the statements 3 and 4, these statements are applicable for the variables. Okay, and we cannot apply those for matrices. So the 3rd and 4th statement is not necessarily true when it comes to matrices. So the correct option is option D here. Okay, so coming towards next question. In this question, they are asking us the eigenvalues of the matrix A. So we know we can calculate the eigenvalues by creating the characteristics equation. What is characteristics equation? A minus lambda I, and determinant of it equal to 0. So if you do the same for this matrix, it is 2 minus lambda, 1, 0, and 3 minus lambda. And if we take a determinant and equate it to 0, we will end up with 2 minus lambda and 3 minus lambda. Okay, so we can clearly see lambda is equal to 2 and 3. So we can say that option C is correct in this case. Okay, so just to give you an idea how I have directly written the equation number 1. So here the matrix A is 2, 1, 0, 3 minus lambda times identity matrix. So we can clearly say, see here in equation number A, we are subtracting lambda times identity matrix from the matrix A. So if you solve this, we'll end up with the equation number 1. So 2 minus lambda, 1, 0, and 3 minus lambda. And if you take a determinant and equate it to 0, we'll get this answer. Okay. Coming towards next question, it is again the same, linked to the same previous question. We can clearly say, see here, the matrix A is same. So they are asking us the values of the eigenvalues of matrix A inverse. So we already know that AX is equal to lambda X. Okay, what is X? X is the eigenvector, and A is the given matrix, and lambda is the eigenvalue of it. So whatever operation you will perform with A, the same is replicated for the lambda. So we can write that A inverse of X, A inverse multiplied by X is equal to lambda inverse multiplied by X. Okay, so considering this, we already know that eigenvalues of matrix A are 2 and 3, correct? So using equation number 1, we can say that eigenvalues of A inverse would be 1 by 2 and 1 by 3. Okay, so this is the property you should know, and it will save a lot of time, and we can solve this question easily. If you don't know this logic or property, you may have to calculate first inverse of that matrix and then the eigenvalues, and it will take a lot of time. Okay, but using this simple trick, we can easily able to calculate the eigenvalues. So here the eigenvalues are 1 by 2 and 1 by 3. So option D is correct. Coming towards the next question. Let a system of linear equations be as follows. So let's try to write it down into the matrix form. 1 minus 1, 2, 2, 3, minus 1, 2, minus 2, and 4. So this is the coefficient matrix, and x, y, and z equal to 0, 0, and 0. So we can clearly see this is a homogeneous system of linear equations, and in this case, or we can say it's in the form of ax equal to 0, and we have to check the rank of matrix A or the determinant of matrix A, and on that basis we will tell what kind of solutions are there for this system of linear equation. Okay, so let's try to rewrite this matrix A. So I'll go to the next page, and here I will write the matrix A is 1 minus 1, 2, 2, 3 minus 1, 2, minus 2, and 4. Okay, yeah. So now in this, let's try to solve it with the rank method. Okay, so we can clearly see here number of unknowns is equal to 3, x, y, and z, and if we find that rank is equal to the number of unknowns, then we'll say it as a unique solution. And if rank is less than the number of unknowns, then we will end up with the infinite number of solutions. Okay, and let's try to calculate it. So just by looking into this question, we'll clearly see that the first row and third row are in proportion. Okay, so if you perform operation, row number 3 minus 2 times row number 1, you will be able to rewrite this matrix as 1 minus 1, 2, 2, 3 minus 1, 0, 0, and 0. So we can clearly see here that rank of matrix A is less than number of unknowns. Okay, so here we can see rank is 2. You can further simplify, but it's obvious that from this step itself we can say it's less than 3, and so whenever we have rank less than the number of unknowns, okay, we can say n. In that case, we'll end up with the infinite number of non-trivial solutions. Okay, so in this case, option B is correct. Okay, so let's go to the next question. So this question is related to the trapezoidal rule, where they are asking us to find the value of the integral, and with a step size of 0.2. So whenever we are solving this kind of question, we have to first understand what is the value of f of x. F of x is given as 1 upon 1 plus x square, and we can call it as y as well. Okay, rather than you can call it as f of x or y. So now we have to create a table out of it. For the different values of x, what is the value of y? So x is varying from 0 to 1 in this question, we can see here. So with a step size of 0.2, we can create around 6 steps: 0, then 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, and 1.0. So we will have around 6 values here. For all the values of this 0 to 1, we have to calculate the value of y. So if you put 0, we'll end up with y value as 1. If you put 1, we'll end up with a 0.5. So we can clearly see here the trend will be reducing value of y from 1 to 0.5. So using calculator, you can calculate these values. I'll just directly write it down. So this is around 0.9615, 0.8621, 0.7353, 0.6098. Okay, so we can call this first value as y0 and the last value as yn. Okay, this is y1, y2, y3, and y4, and yn is equal to y5 in this case. So we know the formula for trapezoidal rule. The value of integral according to the trapezoidal rule is h by 2 times y0 plus yn plus 2 times y1 plus y2 plus so on till yn minus 1. So this is a generalized formula. In this case, the value of h is 0.2. So 0.2 divided by 2. Y0 is 1. Yn is y5, which is 0.5, plus 2 times y1 plus y2 plus y3 plus y4. Okay, and if you solve this completely, you will end up with 0.7837. Okay, always try to use around at least around 4 digits after decimal, so you will end up with the accurate answer. So the value of I here is 0.7837. So option C is correct in this case. Coming towards the next question, it is about the Newton-Raphson iteration formula. So they're asking us the Newton-Raphson iteration formula to find the cube root of a positive number c. Okay, so cube root of a positive number c is c raised to the power 1 by 3, or you can write it as cube root of c, and let's consider it as x is equal to, okay, so x is equal to the c raised to the power 1 by 3. Okay, and now from this we can say that x cube is equal to c, okay, and x cube minus c equal to f of x. So our function is now x cube minus c. Okay, maybe I'll rewrite it as f of x is equal to x cube minus c. Then if we differentiate it, it is 3x square. We know the Newton-Raphson iteration formula, xn plus 1 is equal to xn minus f of xn divided by f dash of xn. So using this, we can solve this question. So let's try to put in these values. Xn minus, what is f of xn? Xn cube minus c. And what is the value of f dash of xn? It is 3xn square. If you cross multiply and further simplify it, you will end up with 3xn cube minus xn cube plus c divided by 3xn square. And after solving the numerator, we will end up with 3xn square minus 3xn cube minus xn cube is 2xn cube plus c divided by 3xn square. Okay, so in this case, like they are using k rather than n, So we can say that xk plus 1 is equal to 3xk 2xk cube plus c divided by 3xk square. Okay, and we can clearly see here it is matching with the option C. Okay, so option C is correct. Yeah, so the major thing in this question is you should know how to create your f of x. Once you create your f of x, it's just a matter of putting into the iteration formula, generalized formula, xn plus 1 is equal to xn minus f of x divided by f dash of x. Okay, coming towards next question. Yeah, it is related to the differential equation. The question is, let a dynamic system be described by a differential equation 2 dy by dx plus cos of x equal to 0. And the question is, which of the following differential equation describes the system in close approximation sense for small perturbation about x is equal to pi by 4. So about x is equal to pi by 4, um, which of this below 4 differential equations uh, describe the system in a close approximation? So out of this, so they have given us the 4 different systems in the options. We can clearly see that these options are pretty similar to what the current system is described. So current system is described by the differential equation 2 dy by dx plus cos of x equal to 0. And at pi by 4, we know that the cos value and sine value is same. Okay, so looking into the options, we can clearly tell that at x is equal to pi by 4, out of this 4, the option A is describes the system which is in close approximation sense for small perturbation about x is equal to pi by 4. Okay, so once you look into x is equal to pi by 4, we will realize that the dynamic system will have both the equations look similar. Okay, coming towards the next question. It is a linked question, and yeah, it is a linked question in which they are asking us the partial fractions of f of x, f of s. The f of s is given here. So let's try to solve it. Here f of s is equal to s plus 10 divided by s plus 2 and s plus 20. And the partial fractions of this can be written in terms of a divided by s plus 2 plus b divided by s plus 20. Okay, so we can say that by cross multiplication s plus 10 is equal to a times s plus 20 plus b times s plus 2. Okay, so this equation number 1, if we solve, we will end up with the values of a and b. So if you put s is equal to minus 2, what will happen? So what will happen if you put s is equal to minus 2? A multiply by 18. So this term will basically become 0 when you put s is equal to minus 2. So this term will become a, the first term will become 18a equal to 8. From this we can say a is equal to 4 by 9. Similarly, in the equation number 1, if you put s is equal to minus 20, what will happen? the first term will become 0, and we will end up with minus 18b equal to minus 10. And if you solve it, we'll end up with b is equal to 5 by 9. So so value of a is here 4 by 9, and value of b is 5 by 9. So I can write it as 4 by 9 times 4 by 9 divided by s plus 2 plus 5 by 9 divided by s plus 20. So looking into the option, we can clearly say option D is correct for this. Okay, coming towards the next question. This is a link to the previous part. They are asking us the inverse Laplace of f of s. So as I already told, f of s we have written as 4 by 9 divided by s plus 2 plus 5 by 9 divided by s plus 20. Okay, and using the formula, inverse Laplace of 1 upon s plus a is equal to e to the power minus at. We can say that for this current f of s, 4 by 9 we can take common, and inverse Laplace of 1 upon s plus 2 plus 5 by 9 times inverse Laplace of 1 upon s plus 20. And now it is comparable to the standard form, and we can write 4 by 9 e to the power minus 2t plus 5 by 9 e to the power minus 20t. Okay, so looking into the options, we can clearly say that option D is correct. Let me no, option B is correct in this. Okay, the last question from this paper is this one. Limit, this is related to the limits. So the question is, limit x tends to 0, sine of x divided by e to the power x into x. So let's try to write it down. Limit x tends to 0, sine of x divided by e to the power x into x. So just looking into it, we can clearly see if you put x is equal to 0, the numerator will become 0 and denominator as well. So it's in the 0 by 0 form. So whenever we have the limits in the 0 by 0 form, we apply L'Hospital rule, and so it will look like limit x tends to 0. After applying L'Hospital rule, we can say the numerator will become cos of x and denominator will be, here you will use the u into v formula. So the first function as it is, differentiation of x is 1, plus x as it is, differentiation of e to the power x is e to the power x. And now if you put the value of x is equal to 0, we'll end up with 1 divided by e to the power 0 is again 1 plus 0. So answer is 1 here. So the correct option is option C. Okay, so that's all about the GATE 2007 paper, and we'll meet again in the next video with some other paper. So thank you all for watching this video. Bye.